truly arise and shine takes discipline and time. So I'm working on what's within, ever living, ever giving. Yeah, yeah. I'm blessed to be witness to this eternal richness. From the roots to the fruits, do you enjoy the ride? I can see that you really mean it when you smile. Feels so good to shine on the inside. It's a natural high, the meaning of life. Every word you say has a vibration. Every thought you have goes out towards the sun. So beware of what you think, cause it will become. Stay strong in a world is everlasting. Yes, it's in the daily practice. Yeah, yeah. To truly arise and shine takes discipline and time. So I'm working on what's within, ever living, ever giving. Yeah, yeah. I'm blessed to be witness to this eternal richness. In the wealth, the kind of richness make your eyes shine bright. The kind of wealth will open your heart wide. Everyone will know your love in life, cause you look so fine, divine. Everything you do attracts more of the same. So best be sure to give, it will come round again. Together we have everything, and we all win. Yeah, yeah, inner wealth is everlasting. Yes, in the daily practice. Yeah, yeah. To truly arise and shine takes discipline and time. So I'm working on what's within, ever living, ever giving. Yeah, yeah. I'm blessed to be witness to this eternal richness. Yes, I'm blessed to be witness to this eternal richness. From the roots to the fruits, do you enjoy the ride? I can see that you really mean it when you smile. Feels so good to shine on the inside. It's a natural high, the meaning of life. Every word you say has a vibration, and every thought you have goes out towards the sun. So beware of what you think, cause it will become. Stay strong in a world is everlasting. It's in the daily practice. Yeah, yeah. To truly arise and shine takes discipline and time. So I'm working on what's within, ever living, ever giving. Yeah, yeah. I'm blessed to be witness to this eternal richness. Yes, I'm blessed to be witness to this eternal richness. Ooh, so very blessed, yes. Good morning, Inner Lights. So good to be here with you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sarita and the Inner Light Band, everybody. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you for kicking us off. And I can't wait for more. We're going to tease you, and you have to wait until the end of the service to hear a couple more songs. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Kim Clark. Nice to meet you if I haven't met you before. I'm super rusty at this. I haven't spoken at Interlight for a year, so y'all, I'm on notes today. I hope you're okay with that. Welcome to those who are live streaming from all over the world. Say where you are. Go in the chat. Say where you are, where you're coming from. We here in Santa Cruz, we're sending you a lot of love, aren't we? Right? All right. So as you can see, I am not Rev D, but she did send a message. But of course, right? She says, many blessings to all of you this day. Happy Juneteenth weekend. Happy Juneteenth weekend. We're going to talk about Juneteenth more in the message too. Immeasurable thanks to all of the dads. Where are you at? In the chat, shout yourself out. Those who are dads and those who are dad-like in your giving and caring for others. Thank you very much. I'm dad-like in my family, and so I have my kids here, and we all get to celebrate. My dad's here as well. So you got the whole family here. My daughter loves it when I call her out. She says that I am in Los Angeles as the guest speaker right now at Agape International, covering for Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. You are in good hands this day at Interlight with our speaker and musical inspiration. And she says, I am with you in spirit. Of course she is. And she will be returning next Sunday as well. Sending her lots of love and blessings as she speaks and supports the Agape International congregation this morning. Catch her on the recording. We can always catch her talk on the recording as well. Okay. So I want to make sure that people on the stream know that there is a watch party going on in a Zoom room right now. The links are in the chat. This is the last one we're going to do. So if you want to be a part of this watch party, what's going to happen is everyone's watching the service at the same time, and then after the service is over, you get to talk about it. You get to riff on it, ask questions, go a little deeper on something that was brought up. We're going to be talking about spiritual qualities today. And if this is a new concept to you, that's a great place to go and ask questions. So check the chat. And if you want to join in on that Zoom watch party, please do. All right. We have now our affirmative actions. And so for those of us who are here, hopefully you grabbed it from the front. And if you didn't, go ahead and run out and get it. The other thing you should have gotten if you're here in person is a copy of the spiritual qualities. So if you didn't get that from the table in the foyer, please go and get those. In the chat, we're going to put a link to a PDF in the chat for the spiritual qualities once we start the message. But right now, let's start off with our affirmative actions. So the theme this month is connection. And the topic today is life calls out for our care. Whew. That's a heavy and a loaded topic. Let's talk about the affirmative actions. They are on your piece of paper if you want to read along with me if you're here. And they're on your screen if you're streaming. Our technologies have turned the world into neighborhood. We now have the will to make the world a brotherhood and a sisterhood and a themhood. It is Pride Month. We enthusiastically respond to the urgency of the hour. The earth calls out for our care, and we respect her needs. We hold life as sacred, however it manifests itself. We are one with all sentient beings, large and small. There is room enough for everyone to thrive. We use our power, and we all have power in different situations. We use our power to lift each other up. We use our ingenuity to ensure that all of life can reach its fullest potential. We live in harmony and balance. So it is the affirmative actions for today. Feel free to cut these out, screenshot it on the stream, post it somewhere, add it to your morning ritual, whatever you need to remind you and remind us that life calls out for our care. I think I just go into the message now. All right. The theme of the month is connection. Our topic today is Life Calls Out for Our Care. And if you've been paying attention and not been living under a rock lately, you can not only hear life calling out for our care, but it's screaming. It won't be a downer the entire time, I promise you, because there is always hope. We just reached 600,000 COVID deaths, and there's still no equitable health care, even after that kind of a result in the United States. There are states that are pulling back on food aid when food insecurity is at an all-time high. Climate change, we have some people from over the hill in San Jose where it's like ridiculously hot, am I right? Temperatures are crazy. Gulf storms are happening. Climate change, the planet is asking for us to connect. And that's the call to action. As life calls out for our care, is to make that connection. Make the connection to each other. Make the connection to the planet. All of this is life-sustaining. And then first and foremost, making that connection to ourselves. So this is happening. This is happening. And that with that connection and that relationship, that life is asking for us to step up, right? Step up as individuals, and as each individual does step up, we are stepping up as a collective, so we can be a part of the solution. Life is asking us to put a ring on it. If you know that reference, you get what I'm saying. Somebody's already dancing in the sanctuary. It's a Beyonce song. Put a ring on it. And that's an ask for a commitment, right? Can you make a commitment? Can you care enough about me to make a long-term sustainable commitment? Life is asking us, put a ring on me. Make a commitment to me. Now, a commitment can be a promise for a better future. And it can always stay in the future unless we are applying that commitment in our daily and moment-by-moment choices. You see what I'm saying? So we cannot create that better future, that promise of a better future, if we're not making those decisions in the moment. So if we are making a commitment to put a ring on it, to care about, to listen to life calling out for us to care, we have to be looking at our moment-to-moment decisions, because the present is all we have. That's the only place where we can go to action, right? So let's have 2020 be our rock bottom, shall we? Let's let that be our rock bottom. Let's not get it worse from there. There were lessons begging to be learned. And as Rev D says, whatever needs to be healed will be revealed. Historically, if you look over other pandemics, it always follows by a renaissance. A renaissance follows a pandemic. Seems like a good time to have a renaissance right now. A renaissance, a reckoning, a reconciliation. Because what needs to be healed is being revealed. We're seeing it play out right in front of us, right? And the thing is that we really have to also share in the discomfort of this healing. This is going to be uncomfortable. We're going to have to make some changes. It impacts all of us, so it involves all of us. So we're going to need some practical tools, some universal spiritual tools to help us through this and have this practical application to this challenge. Because as I mentioned, what needs to be healed will be revealed. And the other thing that Rev D always says, the only thing that ever needs to be healed is the sense of separation. It's just a sense. It doesn't exist. It's an illusion. So if we're seeing these separations globally in the United States where we're based, in your family, in your own lives, at work, if you're seeing and feeling this sense of separation from your own body, whatever it may be, within your own family. It is a sense of separation. So we need tools. We need to be able to, we need help. We don't know. Sometimes it can feel too big, and we get stuck in that. So that's what these spiritual qualities are. So stream, check the chat. There's going to be a link to a PDF. And there you'll be able to not only view, but download the spiritual qualities. This is something that Inner Light teaches on a regular basis. These spiritual qualities are on a spectrum. They're always present. However, we can tell when there is this huge sense of separation, that means that there's a pretty low volume of these spiritual qualities. And it feels like they aren't present at all. There could be situations that we're looking at and feeling right now that feels like there is no love in this relationship. There is no connection. There is no hope. What it is just, it's still there. It's just at a really low volume. And life happens through us, with us. We're the ones that amplify and bring that volume up on the spiritual qualities. It's us. That's our role here on the planet. As extensions of Source, that's our role. To bring about what you see on the page and so much more. It has to happen through us, otherwise it doesn't happen. So thinking about the 3 examples that I opened up with, food insecurity, climate change, healthcare. Let me give you some more examples. And as I share these examples with you, I want you to look at the spiritual qualities sheet. And I want you to try to identify, if you've got a pen or a fingernail, whatever you want, you can circle whatever spiritual qualities that you can identify that are missing from these examples. The 3 that I already shared, or the 2 that I'm about to share again. Yesterday was Juneteenth. June 19th, Juneteenth. If you don't know what is, please Google it, educate yourself, learn about it, take responsibility, learn about it. Juneteenth has been going on for 156 years. Just this week, it was recognized in the United States as a federal holiday. That deserves a round of applause. It went through Congress quickly, easily. It was signed quickly and easily. Anyone hear about Opal Lee? 94-year-old woman who has been wanting Juneteenth to become a federal holiday for decades, like 40 years. And she is here and alive to see this day. Her work paid off. Wow. I am so happy for her. I'm happy for us, for that visibility, for that acknowledgement, right? It's a celebration for sure. But please don't be with us just in celebration. Please be with us also in the crisis. Because Juneteenth can be seen as more symbolic than the more meaningful change that has to happen. Voter suppression? Come on. More equitable access to health care? Right? Obviously, all the work that needs to be done around police brutality. Meaningful change. There's bills, there's momentum, there's a desire for this reckoning, this reconciliation, this renaissance. Thank you for the Juneteenth federal holiday, and let's be there for each other in solidarity in a way that brings about centering humanity and meaningful change. Here's another example. You're looking at the spiritual qualities. You're thinking about which ones are missing in these situations. The next one, pride. June is Pride Month in the U.S. I'm a gay woman. I'm a proud gay woman. My girlfriend's right over there. She also loves it when I point her out. I had a hell of a time. Oh, I said hell. I had a hell of a time coming out when I was 28 years old because of my Christian upbringing. And I was 28 years old. I was an adult before I actually came to myself. But I was so afraid that God wasn't going to love me anymore. So I actually considered suicide. I thought the planet would be better off without people like me. And so I clearly got a different kind of message about love, unconditional love, as it relates to feeling like there was conditions to love and how I needed to act and be in order to get God's love, right? And then, and one of the many, many nights that I was curled up into a ball on the carpet in my bedroom, crying, being so, so scared, I thought of this totally ridiculous poster that I had in my bedroom when I was in second grade. This stupid poster that had this ugly troll on it, and it said, "God don't make no junk." Grammatically incorrect, but very profound. That was an opportunity for me to put a ring on it. Life was calling out for my care. And so in that moment when I remembered that ridiculous troll poster, I started laughing. I was creating an obstacle that wasn't there. I had that sense of separation that was asking to be healed. So I pumped up, you look at your qualities here, I pumped up love, especially self-love. And connection. Seeing myself as somebody who's been created by the Creator. There was nothing wrong with me. All I'm trying to do is be my authentic self and whatever package that comes in, and to love somebody authentically and honestly. That's all I was trying to do. There's nothing wrong with that. I've figured out that my life purpose here for this lifetime is authenticity. Hence my starting off with, I'm super rusty. I'm putting that into practice on a moment-by-moment basis, as you can see. Now, companies are lighting up their buildings, governments, are lighting up their buildings with rainbow colors, and companies are changing their logos to have rainbow colors in their logos. And that's, again, visibility, acknowledgement, yes, yes, and more yes. Thank you. And almost 30 states have anti-LGBTQ plus and anti-trans bills targeted at kids. They say it's to protect the kids. No, you are not protecting them. You're causing so much harm. Trust me on this. I've worked with the LGBTQ plus community. I'm a part of it. LGBTQ plus, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer. And the plus means there's a whole bunch of other identities as well that are just as beautiful. They're all just the reflection of our diversity and different ways to live. But kids, especially trans kids, it's already hard enough to look in the mirror and say, I feel I am a different gender, but it's not what I see in the mirror. That's enough. But then to actively harm kids around their identity, where on the spiritual qualities list do we need to amplify, bring up the volume around these qualities? What is that sense of separation that needs to be healed? You know what? Tell me. Here in the sanctuary, in the streaming, put it in the chat. What qualities are coming up for you that you see that you're identifying from any of the examples or your own personal examples? Just shout out the qualities you see that need to be amplified to help heal the sense of separation. Go ahead in the room and go ahead on stream in the chat. Compassion, equality, trust, acceptance, oneness, truth, love, authenticity, justice. Ooh, we're getting some strong words now. Support. Good. Faith. Absolutely. And belief. Last night, Joshua Johnson interviewed the newly elected president of the Southern So she just shared a story about an interview talking about from a Christian perspective, looking at scripture as loving gay folks. Am I right? Did I summarize that just in case people didn't hear it? Black gay folks. And Pride, if you don't know the history of Pride, I'll summarize it in like 2 sentences. Pride was started in 1969 by Black and brown transgender people pushing back and retaliating against the police brutality after the police raided Stonewall, which is Stonewall Inn in New York City. That's what started liberation, freedom, pride, the right to be out. Reverend Deborah has her own piece of history here in the state of California, how she has set precedent through lawsuits on the right to be out. We have examples of strength. The people who are picked on the most are the strongest, but they're tired. They're exhausted, and rightfully so. Generational trauma is real. Just ask anybody who's part of Black and African American communities, Asian, Pacific Islander communities, especially those who've emigrated, over generations here in the United States, Native American populations, LGBTQ plus populations. On my mom's side, we're Native American, Muskogee. My Indian name is Gazelle. My grandmother was born in 1915 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She was 6 years old when the Tulsa Race Massacre happened. She never talked about it. She never told us a thing about it. We didn't even know it had happened. We started learning on our own after she had passed away in the 90s, because nobody talked about it. She was Native American in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She was put into an Indian boarding school. She was to be stripped of her Native American culture, language, attire, Christianized. And if you've been paying attention to what's going on in Canada, they've been discovering bodies, 215 children's bodies in an Indian boarding school. I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg, my friend. My grandmother went through that. It silenced her. Super smart woman, wise. Her Indian name, Owl. Silent but strong. When I think about those Indian boarding schools, I wasn't a part of them. I wasn't alive, but I'm talking about generational trauma being real. Now, my dad's side, English, they were part of the white settlers. I literally have cowboys and Indians fighting in my ancestry. I have to reconcile that. And that takes time. But the healing has to happen there. Native Americans in Oklahoma had enslaved people. That's the land allotment is what started Black Wall Street. The Greenwood area of Tulsa was a land allotment as the enslaved people were freed from the Native American tribes. There's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot here to forgive. And we're in a renaissance. We're the generation. We're the ones that's being asked for this healing. What needs to be healed has been revealed. It's just a sense of separation. So here's my ask for all of us. Look at these spiritual qualities. Consider what's going on in your own lives. Look at the news headlines, and as Ganena Downing here, who's a prayer practitioner, always says, these headlines, these news, what we hear from family and friends and what's going on in their lives is a prayer request. So rather than being scared, adding to the fear, adding to the anger can be addictive. Be real careful about that, right? Instead of that, look at that as a prayer request, as a way to look at our spiritual qualities and say, what is missing here? What needs to be amplified? I'm going to be that conduit, that channel. I'm going to bring this into existence. What can I do? Everybody has a role. It impacts everybody. So everybody needs to be in on this. Are you in on this? Can you be a part of this? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to be uncomfortable as we share the discomfort of progress? It's going to be, everybody has to shift and change. We're going to have to give some stuff up because it's not working. What needs to be healed has been revealed. Life is calling out for our care. Let's let's put a ring on it. Let's care enough. Let's center humanity. See each other as human beings. Can you do that? Let's let love win. Life is calling out for our care. Let's make that connection to each other, to what's going on, prayer requests, speak an affirmative word, center on humanity. Let's be a part of the solution. Life happens through us, and let love win. Thanks, everybody. Take a deep breath with me. Let it go. Again, in. Let it go. And what we're letting go as we exhale is fear, anger, judgment, preconceived ideas, orthodoxies, traditions. We want the scales to fall away from our eyes. Unblind my eyes. Source, please guide me. Allow me to listen for life's call, for my care. I listen for the guidance, what my role is, what my place is. Who am I to be in order to do what I am to do? How do I center on humanity rather than, well, this is the way we've always done it, or I'm uncomfortable with your lifestyle? Even if all the examples that were shared today did not impact you personally, it impacted somebody, and that's what matters. It's like a wildfire that seems to be 5 miles away. If we don't keep that wildfire in check, guess what's going to happen? It's going to take you down too. So even if it doesn't impact you personally right now in this moment, it does and it will. Opt in. Be with us in celebration, Pride, Juneteenth, Father's Day. And please, Source, guide us to be present and available in the crisis. We're listening, sweet Spirit. We are listening to your guidance. Point us in the direction. Allow us to be healed. Allow ourselves to be healed, but get out of our own way to be healed. That sense of separation within ourselves so we can opt in. Put me on the field. Put me in, coach. Pick me. Give us the tools, the support of a spiritual community, to have the strength to do what needs to be done, to say what needs to be said, to be who we are to be your hands, to be your voice, to shine your light in the dark spots of our world. What you have Sweet Spirit showed us what needs to be healed. Nothing is underground anymore. Everything's on the table. And as Rev D talks about, we got to feel to deal so then we can heal. We can't skip any steps. The feeling stage, a lot of us go sideways. We don't do very good on the feel stage, but it's necessary in order for us to understand how to deal, to collaborate and work with those who are closest to the problems because they're the closest to the solutions. How do we fund them? How do we give them visibility? How do we stand in solidarity? How do we take meaningful action for significant change to allow all of life, all of us, all of each other to thrive, as the affirmative actions talk about, to live our fullest potential, as the affirmative actions call out? How do we live this and put this to practice? Give us the tools, give us the guidance. We are listening, Sweet Spirit, because it's not working. What we've been doing is not working. It's not working anymore. We usher in the Renaissance, the reimagination. We reimagine how we relate to each other, how we celebrate you, how we are connected to Spirit, how we are connected to each other, how we are connected to the planet. We reimagine, we reintroduce, we reinvent for reconciliation, for reckoning, for the Renaissance. Life calls out for our care. Thank you, Sweet Spirit. We are hearing the call. We are stepping into action. Thank you for this opportunity for us to be here for such a time as this. And we know that we are not alone. We have you, we have each other. We center on humanity. We get out of our own way. We release this prayer and we allow it to be. And so it is. Etienne.
Amen, amen. Thank you, Kim. Gonna let love rule today. Gonna let love rule today. We don't have to force it. We don't have to push it. We don't have to make it happen. We just have to get out of the way and let it happen. So if you all want to join us, we're gonna do a couple rounds of this inner light of mine. I woke up with that feeling today. So we can turn these lights on, and as we go into the world, we can take this consciousness and spread it out. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This inner light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This inner light of mine, that's right. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This inner light, this inner light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, I will. This inner light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This inner light of mine, I'm gonna let it, keep going. Let it, one more. Let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank you.
All right. We got more of that coming. And Sarita, said that correctly? Okay, I want to make sure. Sarita's going to come back in just a few minutes, but I want to remind you of some really cool things going on at Inner Light. And you can join on stream as well. First and foremost, it's time for our offering. So consider giving to Inner Light to support all of them, Rev D, this building, just support. We're an independent, spiritual ministry. We're an omni-faith ministry. We're not affiliated, but it's just us. We're not affiliated with anybody. It's just good old, fashioned country group getting together and saying we want to do spirituality however we want to. All focused on the spiritual principles, universal spiritual principles, honoring all paths that lead to truth. Read our spiritual purpose statements, to learn more about Inner Light. But please donate. If you're streaming, there's a donate button. For those who choose to use paypal.me, just use paypal.me/innerlightministries. And so you can give that way as well. For those who are in the sanctuary, on your piece of paper that you were given when you walked in are different ways. You can text. You can drop off something in the box in the foyer. And also Barbara right here, she's going to have a magical little tool that will be happy to swipe your credit card or your debit card. So thank you for supporting Inner Light Ministries and keeping us going. All right, some other really interesting things that are coming up. Go to Inner Light Ministries on Facebook, as well as Reverend Deborah L. Johnson's page on Facebook. She is doing some phenomenal workshops online right now, so we can all participate in this. And one she's doing is We the People. And she's talking about the Constitution, and she's talking about how did we get to where we are today with this invitation for racial reckoning and healing, okay? And then she has another one that talks about being present in the yes. Now, she is the author of 2 different books, The Sacred Yes and Your Deepest Intent. You can't even get those books right now. They're like so much money on Amazon, but we have sources. So contact us at Inner Light if you want one of those books. But on Thursday, she's teaching a workshop based on the Sacred Yes. She reads the letter out loud. Now, these are spiritual downloads that she gets, and then she transcribes them and puts them into a book. She gets these downloads all the time. It's the wildest, the coolest thing to see in person. And so then when she reads those letters back, you can feel the energy from which they came. It's really powerful. So it's talking about living in the yes, saying yes to life. Yes, I will get uncomfortable. Yes, I will have hard conversations. Yes, I will take this job that I only have 3 qualifications out of 10. Yes, I will take a chance on this relationship. Whatever it is, but it's saying yes to life and new opportunities and a new way of being. And she helps you through that. So please check out her Facebook page and sign up for those workshops. They started last week, but it's not too late to get involved. Other things that Inner Light has going on, coffee chats. Just literally, I'm a tea drinker, bring your tea. You can, you get together on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you just hang out. You just get to meet people from all over the world, just hang out. So you have that as an opportunity. That's 11:30 Pacific time. Especially if you're looking for some community connection and inspiration. So we also have a food pantry here every single Thursday at 12 o'clock. People get here very early in order to save a spot. I've been here where they line up their bags, because they want to make sure they get enough food. So we could use some volunteers, but get the word out. I was just talking about food insecurity and how some states are pulling back on food aid. Take care of our own here in this community. This is an action we can take right now. Get the word out around this food pantry. Make sure everyone is fed in our county, and wherever you're based, find a local food pantry, spread the word. Make sure the people who need it are getting it. It's not a supply problem, it's a distribution problem, as Rev D says. And if you're in need of prayer and spiritual support, make sure that you call here. You can leave a voicemail. You can email at 4, the number 4, prayer@innerlightministries.com. And there'll be prayer practitioners here for those who are here. Is that true, Barbara? Not yet. Okay, so email, but if you need to talk, make sure that you contact us and we will support you in prayer. All right, and we're also looking, Santa Cruz County, we're also looking for some more volunteers to help run the Sunday service. That would be really helpful. And anyone like drumming? Kevin? Yeah, all right. There's community drumming that we have right here on Friday, June 18th. That happened on Friday, but we're going to do it again next month. And so it's every third Friday of the month. So look at your calendar. If you want to do drumming, they bring extra drums, right? Even if you don't have any rhythm, you'll learn it. You'll get into the swing. You'll hear it. Yeah, to learn behavior. Reverend Ann Forsberg is this wealth of knowledge that will blow your mind. She holds these classes online on different topics around different faiths. Because we're an omni-faith, spiritual center. Any faith or no faith, whatever, glad you're here, welcome. And she knows about a ton of different faith traditions. And so if you want to learn more, her topic on June 28th, which is a Monday, is Sophia, Goddess of Wisdom. It's on Zoom, 6 o'clock Pacific time. Again, go to the Facebook page to learn more about this. And I'll end on a reminder that next Sunday here and on Zoom, you can tune in live as well, is the memorial for Jane Mangles. Now, Jane Mangles is the spiritual practitioner here at Inner Light Ministries. For me, she's been a role model of being consistent and being devoted to prayer. Her license plate said for prayer. Pray me up. Pray up. It was on her license plate. This is what she lived. This is what she stood for. And she would bring the flowers. So every time I see flowers, I think of Jane Mangles. So we're very grateful for her life, her contribution, and we're going to celebrate it with a lot of song. Am I right, Russell? Lots of song, lots of music. So even if you didn't know Jane, you're going to know Jane after this 2-hour memorial that we're going to have here in the sanctuary. You can come in person if you're local, or you can watch on Zoom. Again, the information is on the Facebook pages as well as the website. That is on Sunday, June 27th from 3 to 5 Pacific time. With that, Sarita, can you come on up and just continue to bless us with your talent and your skills? And thank you for being here and blessing us with your musical inspiration. Take it away.
And don't forget, take this consciousness and multiply it. Thank you. That was extra good with the reverb.
So grateful to be here. Happy Sunday. I spared a thought for you today. I'm hoping that you find your way through the all-pervading haze. I pray. If you don't know where to start, feel your life's been torn apart. From the depths then of my heart, I pray, hey, yeah. Said I pray that your children, they will grow up strong. And I pray that your times of pain won't be for long. And I pray that you have the strength to carry on. And I pray in times of need there'll be someone for you. Speak to me then of your fears and of that which you hold dear. My mind is open and all my ears. And though I may not hold the key to all the answers that need be, yes, I share with you, share with me humanity. I love that you brought that word in so much. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us. Said I pray, yes, that your children, they will grow up strong. And I pray that your times of pain won't be for long. And I pray that you have the strength to carry on. And I pray in times of need there'll be someone for you. What else matters more than this? Warmth of heart, strength of spirit, to really feel the laughter and the visions and the tears, to live the most of life that we can live whilst we are here. Be strong, have faith that you will be loved, warm and safe. I pray, I pray. Said I pray that your children, they will grow up strong. And I pray that your times of pain won't be for long. And I pray that you have the strength to carry on. And I pray in times of need there'll be someone for you. In times of need there'll be someone for you. In times of need there'll be someone for you. Ooh, times of need there'll be someone for you. Times of need there'll be someone for you. This next song has a special connection here with Santa Cruz because we made the video for it all around town, down on the boardwalk. And what's that park called with the obelisk in it? Ocean View Park. If you check it out on YouTube, you'll recognize all the spots. It's called Tears of Joy. I cry them all the time. Baby, I'm out in the world. Ooh, in the world. I've been reborn on this journey. Hey, I'm no longer that girl you once knew. For the love of life that grows more in my heart every day. For the light I see in the eyes that I meet. For the lessons and reflections that each day brings, I rejoice. Ooh, yeah. Cry, tears of joy. Ooh, yeah. I cry, tears of joy. Yeah. Following my heart, following a feeling I had. Hey, I'm here to play my part, here to shine my light on the darkness. The lessons and reflections that each day brings, I rejoice. Ooh, yeah. Cry, tears of joy. Ooh, yeah. You can join in on the ooh. I cry, tears of giving thanks for these moments spent by your side. Ooh, it's been a long, long time, baby, and I'm out in the world. Ooh, in the world. I've been reborn on this journey. Hey, hey, I'm no longer that girl you once knew. For the love of life that grows more in my heart every day. For the light I see in the eyes that I meet. For the lessons and reflections that each day brings. I rejoice. Ooh, yeah. Cry, let me hear ya. Ooh, yeah. Cry, tears of joy. Yeah. Let's bring the music down. I want to hear some voices. Cry, let me hear you.
Ooh, yeah.
Cry, tears of joy.
Ooh, yeah.
Cry, tears of joy. Yeah. I cry. Hey, I cry. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Did you know singing is good for your immunity? I invite you all to go forth and sing. Sound your voice because it's the only one of your voice. It's your sonic blueprints, the only one ever created in all of creation. Go forth and sing and sound. I love singing. What a way to start the day. Thank you so much for having us here. Us meaning me and David Clater, who has been here many times before and just helps me so much to make this happen. Thank you to the Inner Light
Give
band.
it up, please.
Russell,
Sarita.
Kevin, Etienne, thank you so much. Big love.
You. And don't forget, take this consciousness and multiply it. Thank you so much.